Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. Thank you for attending the annual meeting of Handforth Town Council. First thing, housekeeping. If there is an alarm, it means that there is a fire. So we just get out the way that you came in or any other emergency exit. Excuse me. Is that better? It falls to me as the current chair to take care of item 122.11.1, the election of a chair to Handforth Town Council and to sign the declaration of acceptance of office. Can I have any nominations for chair of the Town Council, please? Thank you. Thanks again.
I would like to nominate myself to be the chair.
Thank you. Ashley? I'd like to, any seconders? Not at the moment. Okay. Can I have a... Oh, the only one is myself, yes? So can I have a vote in favour, please? Thank you. And any votes against? Thank you very much for your confidence. Next item, 22.11.2, to receive apologies for absence. I can see that we have a full crew, so no apologies. Item 22.11.3, to note declarations of interest and requests for dispensations to discuss and vote on a matter in which a member or cooperative member has a disclosable pecuniary or non-pecuniary interest or any prejudicial interest. Do any members have any interest in those items to be discussed? No, none. Thank you. Item 22.11.4, open forum. Comment and questions concerning items on this agenda may be put to the Council by the public during this period. Matters which, in the Chairman's view, require debate and or a discussion will be referred to the next committee or Council meeting as appropriate. Items not pertaining to the agenda may also be taken at this time at the Chairman's discretion. The public forum is restricted to 15 minutes and strictly 3 minutes per person unless the Chair allows otherwise. Any members of the public like to make a statement? Mrs. Walsh? No, that won't be. Well, no, at this time we are considering that we are councillors only on working groups or parties. I don't know what might happen at a later date. All I'm saying is what we are doing at the moment is, as I say, councillors only. If there's someone who has a particular expertise that might be necessary to the council, we would call them in at a particular time, should they be needed. If you say, well, yes, if it's appropriate, yes. Any more questions, points? I'm going to carry on because Roger's not put his hand up. Okay. Thank you. Item 22.11.5. To elect a vice chair to Handforth Town Council and sign the declaration of acceptance of office. I would like to propose Councillor Sue Moore as vice chair of Handforth Town Council. Any more proposals? No? Can I have a vote in favour, please? Unanimous. Thank you. Excellent. Item 22.11.6, to elect members to the following committees, groups and outside bodies. The Finance Committee. I'm all in favour of continuity, and in that vein, I'd like to nominate Councillor Sampson as Finance Committee Chair. Ah, okay. So, Committee for Finance, who would like to be involved? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Not Sam, not Councillor Smith. And the Planning Committee. Sorry, do we need to vote on that, Ashley? Or okay. Yes. Planning Committee membership. 1, 2, 3, 4. Yep. Next, the Environment Committee. No, we're keeping them separate. Yes. Yeah. Yeah. Environment Committee. Those which would like to be included in the Environment Committee.
Can I ask a question on the Environment Committee before we vote, please? Since I've joined the council, we haven't really had any meetings. I don't understand what the purpose of it is. Are we meant to be doing something with the Environment Committee? Are we not?
Would you like to answer that, Vice Chair?
Oh, sorry. I do apologise. The planning and environment were together, and that was historical from 2019. It was kept that way. On advice from the clerk, we've separated it. It can be looked at, but I think it's quite the correct move, to be fair. I think it needs to be removed in a separate item from planning. Yeah.
Are we planning to have meetings on it then? Are we?
Yes. Yes. Okay. Oh, I don't know. I'm not. I don't know who's going to be chair, but yes, if we've got a committee, then we need to have meetings, don't we? Yeah, obviously. Yeah.
Yeah. Great.
Yes. Those who would like to join the Environment Committee. Okay. And now the Personnel Committee. Yes. Yep. Okay. So we've at least got a little bit of leeway for making sure we're quorum on all committees. Okay. Good. Okay. Working groups and vote on the whole. Yes. Can I have a vote of all those in favour of that which has just been discussed with the 4 committees? Okay. Working groups and lead councillors. Assets Transfer Working Group. I'm proposing that myself, Councillor Moore, and Ashley the Clerk continue as we've been working together on these assets transfer. Can I have a proposal? Okay. And in fact, excuse me, proposal. Confirm. Sorry. Proposal. Seconded. Thank you. Those in favour? Thank you. Anonymous. The Christmas event working group. Panto, lights, etc. It's good if we've got some continuity of those who've been involved in the Panto in the past. I certainly agree that. So can I have a show of those interested in becoming part of that group.
Chair, can I just say, because I wasn't here last year, I'm not too sure who were the ones that were leading it. So if you can, just for my help, who was? So it was.
Yes. Yes.
Thank you.
Julie, myself. Yes.
So everybody.
Everyone was involved on the day.
Just be helpful. Just going through the rest of the list, if I could just know who was doing it.
Yeah. So we have those who wish to join the Christmas event working group. No? Could I ask why? This makes it difficult. I think I need to make a comment at the moment that given that which has been stated by yourself in the past, Councillor Nisa, it would be difficult for people that have been accused of something that they have not done to be happily working together with you on a group. Do you understand what I mean?
It's not my problem. I'm sticking with what I said and what was said to me. I'm not taking it back or anything. And if a particular council's got a problem, then that's their problem, to be honest. I'm fine working with anybody and everybody, to be honest.
Okay, so you're happy with what you've just stated, and you're happy that we are still considered all racist. Is that true? You're happy for that to stand?
Councillor, I don't think this is a place to be having this conversation.
It's a place to be having the conversation about who's going to be working on which committee, and if there is a problem with certain people not feeling comfortable doing it, I have, as chair, I've got to raise this issue. So my question is, will that comment that you put on social media be taken down yet?
I have amended it to make it clear that it was one councillor, and I'm not going to have a further discussion on this. If people got a problem, that's fine. I am democratically elected to be here.
I know.
And I will be here. And if somebody refused to work with me, like I said, is their problem, it's not my problem.
So just so that I understand, last time you still consider the council racist. That's what you put on your comment, which went onto Facebook and to Twitter. Is that still your view?
Councillor Moore, just one last comment on this. I have amended it to say it was one councillor, not the whole council, and I'm leaving it at that.
So I'll take from that you still consider us all racist. Next item. Did we get the numbers of people on that, Ashley? Okay, thank you. The HTC Grant Award Liaison. We've come to the decision that we don't any longer need a grant liaison. We're giving Ashley a little bit more work to do in that he will be receiving the grant applications as previously, but we'll issue that to councillors immediately for their views and for them to ask any questions. That's correct, yes. But just so that we're speeding it up, getting it out speeding it up so that we're not waiting for the week before the pack. So that's the intention, yes, which then gets all the questions hopefully asked before it gets to the council meeting. Manchester Airport representative. Is anybody interested in being the Manchester Airport representative? Liking planes is not necessarily a qualification. Okay. No interest. Next item, police liaison. And yes. Yes, given that Councillor Smith also acts on that role for Cheshire East. I think it makes sense to keep it in the same area. So okay, so can I have a proposal? I propose that Councillor Julie Smith is police liaison and youth services liaison. Have a second for that? Thank you. Can I have a vote in favour? Unanimous. Thank you. Friends of Handfall Station representative and Engine of the North liaison. I'd like to carry on in those two positions. Does anybody have any objections to that?
I would like to put myself forward for the Friends of Hempel Station representative.
Okay. What do we do, Ashley? Do we have votes? Oh, sorry, go on. Take your time. Thank you. I've been the representative now for I think it's since 2015, and I'm quite happy to continue doing so. Lead councillor, highways and parking. I would like to propose Councillor Julie Smith. Have a second? Thank you. And those in favour? Unanimous? Thank you. And lead councillor, parks and open spaces. Yes. Okay. And can I second that? And those in favour? Unanimous? Thank you. We've got all the information you need there, Ashley. Okay. Item 22.11.7. To confirm the Council's eligibility criteria to exercise the general power of competence. 2 criteria must be met. 2/3 of members are elected, and the Council has a SILCA qualified clerk. We have a SILCA qualified clerk, and we do meet that in that 2/3 at least of the members are elected. We don't need any votes on that, Ashley? No, just to confirm. Thank you. 22.11.8. To review the Council's level of insurance provision. The insurance is basically based on turnover. Is that correct, Ashley? But the insurance level is currently covered our turnover. Yes. And then anything that comes under the auspices of the Council would still be covered. Yep. Okay. That was just so we need to propose that we're happy with that. Yes. Sorry. Yes.
I read through all that documentation. Sorry, I read through all the documentation. Did we actually include employment in it? We have. I couldn't find it, so it's there. No, no, not employer's liability. No, I know that's there. I'm talking about employment law. We were going to add it in. Has it been added in? Sorry?
Guarantee.
Okay, fair enough. Okay, fine.
Where are we up to? To accept the level of insurance provision. Is that right? Thank you. Second? You. Those in favour? Unanimous. Thank you. To receive the internal auditor's interim report. Sorry, beg your pardon. To review and agree the town council's 22-23 risk assessment. Anybody have any comments on the risk assessment?
Just one, Chair. On the in relation to the asset transfer, we will need to review the risk assessment at that point when if we take ownership of the building.
Yep, agreed.
With respect to fire risk, particularly.
Yes, we've already looked into the level of insurance provision as well that would be required to change. So
Okay.
yes, you're right to point that out.
Cool, thank you.
Thank you. Is it a vote to accept? Proposed by Councillor Sun. And second. And those in favour, please. Unanimous. Thank you. Now, 22-11-10 to receive the internal auditor's interim report. Any comments? Yeah. Can I propose we accept? Yes. And
Just ask a quick question on the audit. I was just skimming through it earlier and I noticed quite a lot of money is given out the petty cash when we shouldn't be giving it. Is it the previous? Okay. Okay.
All right, I picked it up as well.
Yeah, I agree then. It would be helpful to have a comment on it, especially with new councillors possibly coming in. Thank you.
okay. Did we have a proposal a second there? I'll second. Have a vote in favour, please. Unanimous. Thank you. 22-11-11 to confirm the arrangements regarding the appointment of internal auditor for 22-23. Please.
We've had this auditor since 2011, and I think it's pertinent that we look at changing our internal auditor. I know, but we should be changing our internal auditor as well. Okay? If all the other councillors are in agreement, you know, we do really need. Oh no, I'd want you to go out and get tenders, especially those that specialise in town and parish councils.
Can I just ask, is there a benefit in having somebody who knows as well? Or is it conversely?
It's not a benefit, I can assure you.
Okay. So going out to the marketplace would give us a better...
It just, sometimes you can say that auditors can become complacent and they're auditing the same stuff every year, and sometimes things can be missed. I'm not saying there have been. I'm not saying he's not done a good job, but I think because of the money that they're handling or we're handling, we should be looking to have an alternative auditor, because we've had him since 2011, so that's 11 years. Okay, that's my own personal
question. How will that affect the ongoing issue with Avonshaw? Because this auditor's involved in that, is he?
no. Is he aware of it?
Yeah.
He hasn't done anything on it.
Right.
And we do have chapter and verse on the thinking behind those who approach Avonshaw in the emails, so that for any auditor would be able to see the tracks.
I just think sometimes fresh eyes. I mean, I'm not saying we're doing it wrong, and I'm not saying that we're doing it all right, but it is a good opportunity for us to go out and look for another internal auditor.
As a principle, I think I agree with Councillor Sampson. In relation to auditors, people pick things up in the first year or two, and then generally, once those things are addressed, then it's not quite as effective.
When would be the best time to be changing if we were to change?
I would prefer to look for a new auditor now, but that's my opinion. Chair of Finance. I just think it's just good practice that we should be looking at, getting the best out of it. I know John Henry's done an excellent job in the past. I'm not denying that, but I really do feel that now is the time to go and look elsewhere for an auditor.
Just to back that up, Councillor Sampson, when we have audits at the office, every time there is an audit, it's a different person. So they're not following on from the one before. And we have audits 3 times a year. So, yeah, I agree.
Yeah. It's more of a question for Ashley, really. Ashley, you said for external ones, it's every 5 years. But for internal one, isn't there a rule how long an auditor should be? In that case, I would say I would agree. It's such a long time to have the same auditor. Maybe we should be setting a standard at this meeting to say a particular auditor can be for X number of years, and then before we start reconsidering, and that should be where it should be written down so we know that we don't end up in this situation again, maybe.
Councillor Neeson, we appoint the auditor every year. So we've appointed John Henry. He's a one-man band, basically, isn't he? He specialises in town and parish councils. So it's not as though he hasn't got the expertise. But I just think sometimes fresh eyes gives... well, there must be people out there, Ash.
Would Chalk would Chalk have any details? Yeah. Okay.
So, Chair, can we have, to confirm the arrangements, should we Are we to take on John Henry for this financial year, even though I don't agree, or do we look for a new auditor with immediate effect? I mean, what are the opinions of the other councillors?
What we're actually considering is for the auditor who will be going forward May onwards this year. That's what he will be auditing. Is that correct? Yes. And sorry, April. Yes. And to get somebody in. When will they be doing the audit? September. So we can look into getting someone. If he can't, we've got someone in place already. But if he can get somebody, then it's on recommendation from Chalk perhaps, or one of Chalk's other members that can find the resource.
That's the wrong word
Yeah.
to say.
Yes. Well, I think what we're saying is that it's a good idea to look in for a new one. If there's a good one available with good references and comments from previous users, then it would make financial sense and propriety to have someone perhaps on the back burner ready to just say thanks very much, John, but we're going elsewhere. Yeah. So do we need to confirm that the clerk will investigate finding a suitable internal auditor for 22-23?
Can I propose that amendment, please?
Those in favour? Unanimous. Thank you. Okay. Item 22.11.12, delegation of powers. To approve the delegation of the Town Council's power in respect of planning matters to the Plans Committee of the Town Council and finance matters to the Finance Committee of the Town Council. I'd like to propose that we delegate those powers. Thank you. Vote in favour? Roger, can this wait, Roger, until... Yes. Twenty-two 11.13. To elect a chair to the Council's Finance Committee. Councillor Sampson proposed. We've got a number of seconds here for that. Yes. Thank you. Can I have a vote? Those in favour? Unanimous. Thank you. And to elect a chair to the Council's Planning Committee, I'd like to propose Councillor Moore as chair of the Planning Committee. Those in favour? Unanimous. Thank you. Item 22.11.15, to elect a chair to the Council's Environment Committee. Well, I'd like to second that, please. And those in favour?
Just ask. I was interested in putting myself forward for the environmental committee, but I understand the reasons. I don't know if you're doing the vice chairs later as well, but I would like to put myself forward for the vice chair of the environmental committee.
That's, yes. Did we have a vote on that? Can I have a vote again? Those in favour? Thank you. Unanimous. To elect a chair to the Council's Personnel Committee, and I would like to propose Councillor Sullivan. Or no? Those in favour? And it will be a hell of a lot easier than the first time we did it in 2015. Yes. unbelievable harassment and yes, good. Oh, it's deserved. Thank you. And 221117 and 221118 to review the council's standing orders and to review the council's financial regulations. They were done last October, and we're proposing that we defer these. Well, no, I'd just like to leave these with no vote to just let the motions fail, because yeah, yeah. Yeah, I'll just repeat that for the sake of the video so that it can be heard, that the reason that we're not taking this forward at the moment is we're waiting for NALC, who are investigating changes that might need to be made due to Brexit. So we'll do it once we've received that information. So we'll let those fail. Thank you. Close of meeting, 1936. So I'm going to propose a 5-minute comfort break. Next meeting due to start